Hello mga kababayan, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Laruan ni Obi-Wan. This is part 2 of this 2-pack set. Now we would be discussing the Tony Stark / Iron Man Mark 85 figure. The crowning glory of this 2-pack set actually is this Iron Man Mark 85 and the 2 head sculpts of Tony Stark that comes with this Iron Man action figure. We have had other Iron Man figures featuring the Tony Stark head, but nothing really that resembles the actor Robert Downey Jr. this way. Now this is the only 2-pack set that you would get these 2 head sculpts. The bruised head sculpt, which is the one that is attached to the figure, and the plain head sculpt, which does not have any of those combat bruising. For the Iron Man armor, the Mark 85, I like this Mark 85 better. With regards to detail, this has better detail and black panel lining than the other offering of the Mark 85. Other noteworthy accessories that come with this Iron Man Mark 85 is that shield and that handheld weapon, which is iconic in the last scene of the movie when Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America fight off Thanos. Other accessories that comes with that Mark 85 would be 2 repulsor blasts or possible jet boosters that you could attach at the base of the foot. We also have 2 hands for repulsor blast effect, which you could attach these 2 things, and 2 fist hands to punch Thanos. Other noteworthy aspect or special feature of this Iron Man Mark 85 that comes with this 2-pack actually not only is the perfect head sculpt of Robert Downey Jr., but also the ability to change heads in an instant. It is really easy to take the head off, including the neck. Now, for example, if you want to retain the neck on the figure, it's still possible to pop off the head from that joint over there. So, really multiple possibilities if you want to customize your action figure of this Mark 85 to your own personal liking. Now the Iron Man head sculpt also comes with that extra neck with that covering of that armor for the neck guard. So with your Tony Stark figure, you have an exposed neck. With the Iron Man figure, you have an armored neck and an armored head. Putting other characters aside, the Captain America and the Thor action figure, which we would later be pairing with this Iron Man figure, we would just be talking about the Iron Man figure alone per se. Then let us talk about it right now. Now with regards to proportion, anatomically speaking, you could imagine that you have a man in that suit. With regards to the length of the arms, the length of the shoulders, the length of the torso in proportion to the rest of the appendages and the head, it is a nicely proportioned action figure. Now with regards to detail, this is I think the best Mark 85 suit that I have seen, because I have seen the other Mark 85s and I owned them before. I have this YouTube channel and they are already gone. Actually, I already sold them. So with regards to this Iron Man suit with the Mark 85, this is the Mark 85 that I'm going to keep. Now I like the panel lining, especially the black detail lining on the armor of this Iron Man suit, and the simplicity of the design that they presented it this way right now. Now with regards to if it's the shininess of the armor, I like it this way because the shinier the plastic, it feels more cheap to me. Well, that is of course a personal thing with regards to how I like my Iron Man armors. Um, if they're too shiny, somehow when you take it on camera, or for example you're playing with it, sometimes it's just way too annoying to have a really shiny figure. But of course I digress if I have the Mark III, because the Mark III armor, that is the armor that I would really like it to be really nice and shiny and bright, just like for example I'm Filipino, so other Filipino reviewers or YouTube aficionados out there would relate to me when I say that I like my owner type Jeep nice and shiny and chrome. Just same with my Iron Man armor. For the Mark III, I like it nice and shiny, but for the rest of the armors that are bright red and yellow, I would like the colors to be toned down a bit so the details on the armor could show. Been collecting action figures for a very long time, so I have a huge collection in the Philippines, and I also have a growing collection here in the United States, especially now that I have a YouTube channel. And when I look at an action figure, especially an Iron Man action figure, while the figure is still in packaging, the first two items that I would really take a look at would be the arc armor and the eyes. So are they evenly or nicely painted, and there are no splashing or overlay on the chest or the eyes. And I could say that with this 2-pack set, for the money that you're paying for this, about $70 a pop for this set, then you have to have really that good paint job. Now, once again, returning to proportion, I like my Iron Man armors with regards to how bulbous the chest. This is just nice and right. So from a medical perspective, this is a healthy Tony Stark inside that Iron Man armor. So sometimes it is just annoying to have a very bulbous Iron Man chest over here, considering that the Iron Man armor is something that really hugs onto the body or the contours of the body. So especially the chest line, if it does not have to be really bulbous, because if you have a really huge chest line, then Tony Stark would be suffering from COPD, or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. That's why bulbous chests or barrel chests are common with people suffering from COPD. But since Tony Stark is a avid drinker, you would expect that he would have liver enlargement. So not much on the chest area, it's going to be over here. So so let's put aside the medical aspect, but with regards to how proportioned the chest is, especially the body, I could say that I really like this Iron Man Mark 85, how it is constructed and proportioned. So the next question we have with this Mark 85 Iron Man armor is, how does this action figure, this Mark 85, this $70 set, fare with the Infinity Saga Fat Man Thor and the Marvel Legends Ultimate Captain America? So let's bring the Captain in. So as you could see, Tony Stark or Iron Man still towers a bit from the Captain America action figure, and I could say that they are nicely proportioned. So we could already post this in a Trinity scene, and bringing in the last Trinity figure that we expect to go with the end game would be Fat Man Thor. So Fat Man Thor would always be the biggest member of this gang or the Trinity. So as regards to height and proportion, he's the bigger man. So the next bigger man with regards to bulk would be Steve Rogers. And of course, Tony Stark is wearing a suit of armor, so he's the least of in terms of bulkiness. But with height, I could really say that this is a nicely proportioned trinity. So when I have this figure for about 2 days and really took it out of packaging and inspected it and played with it, and I've been wrapping my head with regards to the size of that Tony Stark head sculpt or Robert Downey head sculpt with regards or in proportion to that Iron Man Mark 85 body. And I could say that I could just not relate to pairing that head sculpt with that Iron Man Mark 85. It's just way too small for him. Now, considering that when you wrap Tony Stark's body or Robert Downey Jr.'s body proportion, and then you put an armor on him, expect that that armor is going to bulk Tony Stark or Robert Downey Jr. up. So, for example, the arm area, if that is a bare arm, expect that when he wears a suit of armor, it's going to be really bulky, especially the hand area, the foot, the legs. They're going to be really bulky. So with regards to this proportion, as you could see from the side, the head is just really off from this Iron Man body. So, bringing in the other head sculpt of Robert Downey Jr. or Tony Stark into the scene. Now, with regards to proportion, if Robert Downey Jr. was Batman, then that head sculpt is best suited for this body actually. So, with regards to bulk, now, of course, this Batman is not really armored up. Of course, the gauntlets are really huge because there's the armor plating, the forearm guards, and we also have armor plating for the legs and the knee guards. And really, Bruce Wayne body or Batman body is really beefed up. So, but with regards to proportion, as you could see, this head sculpt is a match for that body. Now, of course, we know that this is a McFarlane Toys Batman Unmasked version. And let's bring in that Tony Stark Mark 85 to compare. As I was saying earlier, if you are wearing a suit of armor, then your proportions are really going to be different, especially with regards to height, especially on the leg area. As you could see, this Batman figure has really thick-soled boots. So, as compared to this Iron Man armor, Tony Stark just is really short in this proportion of the Mark 85 armor as compared to this Batman figure with a Tony Stark head sculpt. But I really cannot help myself but put this Tony Stark head on that Batman figure with regards to anatomical proportions. It is just a nice fit, but with regards to this head with that body, I could really not say that it's a nice fit. So that's the only downside to this set. Actually, it's a beautiful set. You have Thanos. Actually, Thanos is just the flowering effect to this set. The star of these two set is really the Tony Stark and the Mark 85 armor, especially that Tony Stark head. That is the price you are really paying for to get that set, is really to get that Tony Stark or Robert Downey Jr. head sculpt. So if Tony Stark or Iron Man crossed over the DC universe, the next billionaire slash hero that he possibly could would be the Batman figure or the Batman character. So this is the end of my talking points for this review. If you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get on with the photos and the video shots.